coyote trap. As you can see, I dug out a little concave area here. I got my number 2 coil spring sitting in there. I didn't film me setting it because it was a bitch to set that thing. But and then I put a paper towel over my trap, a couple little pieces just to keep the dirt from getting under the pan. And then what I do is I sift dirt over all that to give it a real natural appearance, and the dirt's real fine so the trap will set off right. It's like putting sand over it. And what you want to do is you got this, you can put it down in a concave like this. So the coyote or fox or bobcat, which are the 3 I'm after, will naturally step kind of down in this hole. And then I've got my bait hole over here under this tree. And what I'll do is I'll put my bait down in there and my lure to where he's got to come around this way to get up there to it. I'm going to put some sticks right here too. So he's got to come in this way to get to that. I've got it all blocked off over here. So I'm using a Minnesota Predator bait, Caver's Lures, which is an awesome bait. It'll grab any kind of predator out here: coon, bobcat, fox, coyote. I'm out here on my land, you know, that I've done a lot of videos on, and I mentioned the coyote problem out here. That's the main thing I'm after, to take care of the coyote problem from my landowner. They're hard on his cattle, on his chickens and his guineas and his geese. They're hard on the deer, they're hard on the rabbits. You know, last year was a lot of rabbits out here. This year I've hardly seen any because the yotes and the hawks is tearing them up. I can't do nothing about the hawks, but I'm going to try to knock out a lot of these coyotes. And it's about, the land I'm on is 400 acres, adjacent to another 1,000 and some odd acres. Then adjacent to another 10 acres I got permission to go on. And adjacent to another 4 acres I got permission to go on. So I've got a 1,500 acre paradise out here. You can see the creeks back here. The coyote, he runs up this trail right here. He'll come up through here and go under that fence and smell this bait and come right over to it, hopefully. But I'll be setting some water sets in that creek. We'll shoot a video on that too. I'm going to set a coon set in that creek down there. You just keep sifting the dirt. You got to know where your trap's at, because some of this you want to pack down. I'm going to pack it down a little bit around the trap so it's firm, and he'll naturally want to step in that soft spot where that pan will fire off on him. Using an old fire sifter, you know, these guys, these trapping shows buy them big fancy stainless steel sifters and all that stuff. And my grandpa taught me how to do this. He always used an old fire sifter for these dirt hole sets like this. This is the best kind of set to get a coyote or a coon or bobcat. And I've got several bobcats down here. That hide's worth a lot of money. I definitely want to get one of them. You just kind of want to pack in around it, make it all look natural. Make it look like old coyote's been over here digging, or some kind of predator's been digging. And we'll make him stay up there on that pan. Don't matter if you get in by front leg or back leg, either one. Really can feel it. What I like to do is take me a pair of shears, take some of this old dead grass and such, and I just cut it, snip little pieces off, you know, where they won't jam the trap up. Just let this stuff lay all over the area. Helps conceal the fact that I've been here. Might just shot something. Must be hunting on that land over yonder. Some of this bait here. This is Caven's Minnesota brand predator bait, box coat, raccoon, bobcat. You just put 1 little teaspoon amount per set. You put it down here in this hole, down on the bottom. That's gonna make him have to come in there and dig for it. And what I like to do too, I put a little fish oil over here. Just a little drop or two right there, make him sniff around. Another thing I use, I take, this is coyote dog gland. What this is glands from a coyote, and it makes the coyote think there's a rival coyote in his territory, another predator. Plus it'll draw a bobcat too, because who hates a dog worse than anybody but a cat? So that'll piss that bobcat off. Gets him over in here too, and I just get some on a stick and drop it down in the hole too. And I'll take and put another little stick right here in front of it. And then really get his attention, predator's attention. An old trick my granddaddy taught me. You take a couple feathers, and scatter them around that too. I'll take a couple small ones and put them on top of it, because you want him to think there's some pieces of bird or something down in there, and that'll make him dig for it. A little bit harder to get down in there to it. So you stick him down in there. Now I'll take one and take me a piece of twine. You take it and you tie it around the feather. You take, just to get the smell flowing good, stick it down in that bait a little bit. And I'm going to tie it close to the trap to get his curiosity up. And you'll see his feathers flying around. That'll catch his attention too. And then, first that helps me remember where my trap's at. And then just for good measure, I save all the guts and fur and waste off of everything I kill or trap, and I freeze it, and I'll use that as bait as well. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take a little bit of squirrel guts and stick them down in there. A little piece of hide, something like that, maybe. There's a head, that's a good one. I'll put that head down in there too. Just like that. That's going to draw any predator in the world. And he'll dig and tromp around till he gets down to the bottom and gets all that lure out of the bottom. do is you want to take some cover scent. This is scent away fresh earth. Use it for deer hunting, but it smells like fresh dirt and it'll help cover up my human scent as well. And kind of try to conceal this a little bit. Okay. I don't like pole sets. I ain't carrying around 20 pounds of rebar anyway to do the rebar stakes. I just always spray my chain down, and this green so it kind of looks like a little bit of wood off a little swing set. But that'll help. He gets in there, that trap's got a swivel on it. When you do a pole set, a lot of times they can bind it up against that post and pop the jaws open just enough to get their legs out, or they can pull the stake up. You know, I've used those 20-pound rebar stakes, seen, you know, it's this long, and seen a coyote pull one up and run off with the foothold. So I'd rather stake it to a tree. That way I ain't got another piece of metal sticking out here. I'm gonna try some of them wolf brand anchors when I get the money, and it's a cable stake with a spade on it, and you drive it down in there and all that's left the cable. They're kind of expensive. Me being a poor country boy, I just didn't have the money to order them. But this is your coyote set here. I kind of got it set up to where he's gonna come around, and I think another dog's been over here digging and buried something. A little bit of dirt down here on top of the bait pile. I can try to hide it. Some kind of predator hit it. We're going to take another piece of wood like this and just kind of stick it down the ground like that at an angle. And now he's got no choice. He ain't going to step over that. He's going to come right up through here, right up to that hole, and right up on that trap. I guarantee you I'll be filming a coyote or a coyote, a bobcat, a fox, or a coon on this trap in the morning, probably a coyote. But that's how you do it, guys. That's how you do your predator sets. It's good to know how to do this stuff, you know, even if you don't trap regularly for a living. Wild meat is good, always. I eat coyote. I don't kill nothing I don't eat. And it ain't bad. It's not the greatest meat in the world, but it's good to have this stuff. And keep you a couple of these traps in your bug out bag, and you'll always be able to get meat if you study it and do it right. And if the shit hits the pan. You know, I can't emphasize, everybody talks about, I almost survived with a slingshot, or I almost survived with a blowgun, or, you know, I got a gun. Well, you're going to run out of ammo sooner or later. Slingshot, you might get 1 out of 50 squirrels you shoot at. Same thing with a blowgun. I got one of those cold steel blowguns. They'll kill squirrels and rabbits with it, but it's hard. It's easier to let nature do its work, set a trap over there, and, you know, you kill something, you always got bait. You can use fish, you can use sardines, which I'm getting ready to do down here on this raccoon trap. There's all kind of baits. You can use all kind of stuff bait. You can use marshmallows for raccoon bait and get them in. So it's good to keep a trap in your kit, in your bug out bag, in your vehicle or whatever. Keep you a couple traps, you'll be able to eat and shit hits the fan. And that's it. Gary J signing off. Another video back later.